Welcome to GearCheckGames. This is part 15 of our commentary for The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker HD. Last time we reconnected with the pirates here on Windfall Island and got ourselves some bombs. So now, in this part, we're going to break into the cave on Windfall Island where Jaboon is supposedly hiding out. But first, we got to talk to a mailbox.
You've got mail.
Wacky waving mailbox.
Mm-hmm. The very wackiest.
I love the phrase it says when you go to it. Good
evening. That was perfectly timed, Trey.
Yes.
Bombs.
We need to start a musical troupe.
Mm-hmm. But we gotta get the mailbox, too. He's like the mascot.
What if he sent you a bomb in the mail? Beetle would be under some heavy investigation.
My god. Here's a free sample.
Instead of, oh, thank you, it's, oh, I hate you.
Ganon slips Beetle his check.
When Link shows up, just covered in scorch marks, Beetle's like, oh!
Kind of glances to the side, like, awkwardly.
Whenever Ganon slips him the money, he's like, we Gerudos gotta stick together.
Beetle's been a Gerudo all along.
He whispers, thank you.
And that's why there's so many Beetle ships.
Mm-hmm. They're like the eyes of Saruman.
If you see him in Skyward Sword and Breath of the Wild, he's a pretty shifty character.
Uh-huh.
Mainly in Breath of the Wild.
He just... Oh, Breath of the Wild.
Mainly in Breath of the Wild, yeah.
I was gonna say in Skyward Sword he's just like overworked and like beleaguered.
Oh yeah, because he's in that little bike house, isn't he?
Uh-huh. Yeah. Well, I mean, he built it like that, so I mean...
It's his fault.
He kind of made his own bed.
Well, yeah, you can't access his little hut until you get like the... What is it, the grapple hook or something?
Slingshot.
Yeah. Or the beetle, whichever comes first.
Yeah.
Or the bow. Or the, I don't know, any ranged weapon.
What else can you buy from the Beetle in that game? Because I'm pretty sure he's like really important.
You can buy wallet upgrades. You can buy medallions.
Yeah.
Some other stuff. Skyward Sword was Zelda's. Since the 3D games started being made, Skyward Sword was the first 3D Zelda game to actually have kind of like where rupees started feeling actually kind of valuable.
Yeah, they actually had an economy.
Because there was just like a lot of things to buy.
It was neat how in that one you could upgrade your items to have more utility in like more situations.
Uh-huh.
I mean, true, not all of the items in Skyward Sword are terribly useful, like outside of like specific instances where you're meant to use them. But overall, it was a nice feature that I wouldn't mind seeing like come back in a future Zelda game.
Yeah, well, I like how they actually differentiated the slingshot and the bow, so that the slingshot just isn't totally useless after you get the bow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, credit where it's due. Skyward Sword did a good job of like justifying the slingshot as like a short-range weapon versus the bow, which is used more for like precise sniping.
Yeah, they let you use it as like basically like a scatter gun to stun enemies.
Mm-hmm. By the way, sorry if we're just kind of talking about whatever on the way to Outset Island. There's really not much to say about these islands.
Yeah.
We're just kind of getting these islands on the map. There's not really much we can do here. Like these reef islands, I think there are supposed to be like cannons inside them, but they only spawn in the overworld after like certain events occur. And I can't remember what those events are, but like as of right now, there's not really much to do over there. Because you have to blow up all the turrets in order to reveal a treasure chest that has like a treasure chart or a heart piece in it. Anyway, on to the next island.
Sorry to reiterate, but you just whenever you guys were talking about Skyward Sword, you reminded me of one of my little nitpicks about that game was having to buy inventory upgrades.
I mean, I thought it was fine. It gave rupees it gave further value to rupees.
Yeah.
Well, like with the treasure charts, if done correctly, it can be fun to like have like a middle step in like the process of acquiring an item. It's like in Resident Evil 4, like, you know, you could just find, like, better guns in the world, but it's more fun to, like, find, like, a valuable treasure and then sell it to the merchant because you have that anticipation of, like, oh, I bet I'm going to get so much gold for this, this thing I found.
Well, yeah, plus I also like that Skyward Sword's inventory system introduced another kind of small, albeit, like, not really, it didn't really mean a whole lot, because it's still just kind of like an easy game, but a small layer of decision making where you figure out, I think the idea was that you figure out kind of based on where you're going to be going, what you want to bring, like, in your adventure pouch, whether it be different upgrades to increase the amount of hearts you get, or the amount of heart containers you have, or like how easy it is to find bugs and rupees. So there was some kind of like customization stuff with that.
Well, and like you had to like strategize, like you said, and honestly, that was one of the things I kind of missed in Breath of the Wild. Like, why am I talking to the King of Red Lions? Because you know, Breath of the Wild, like, you know, it certainly wouldn't have been convenient for you to have like finite inventory space, but also it would have gone a long ways towards balancing that game a little better because, you know, in spite of how difficult some of the combat encounters can be in Breath of the Wild, the menu is kind of ridiculously overpowered, like once you've collected a certain number of resources. Like you can get yourself back up to full health in like no time flat.
Yeah, I think the main like balancing factor to that was just that you had to make your food in a specific spot. So like I would usually just kind of I never really wanted to spend just a ton of time sitting around filling up my inventory with just 1,000 meals. So I just kind of make like maybe 10 or so of varying efficacies.
Here's a thought. What if, sorry to cut you off, but what if they brought back that mechanic, what if in a future Zelda game you had to be like at a cooking site to consume a meal? Or like you had to eat it immediately?
Or it would like go bad.
Or like certain kinds of meals, like the really good ones you have to eat like immediately to get their full effect, otherwise they'll kind of spoil.
I mean, as long
be
as
less
I
effective.
can kind of see that, having like snacks and having full meals.
Like, I don't know, I just feel like there are a few small things they could have done in Breath of the Wild. And, like, you know, I know it's, like, restrictive, but, like, you know, if you could only, like, for instance, change your clothes in a town or something, or if you could only eat meals at a cooking fire, you know, like, yeah, that's inconvenient, but you have to make a choice then as to what you, like what you take out into the world with you, and it would incentivize like using elixirs and stuff.
Yeah,
because that stuff like doesn't go bad, and you can use it to like, you know, if you go out wearing like the wrong clothes for a snowy area, you can like make yourself an elixir and give yourself that bonus on top of the bonus that your clothes already have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, my main disappointment with the way food works in Breath of the Wild was just that there was no animation for eating it, so you could just like Skyrim a whole meal in the middle of a battle to recover all your health. Whereas I would have preferred something where you've gotta like you've gotta wait.
Like eat it in real time.
Yeah, you have to eat it in real time, and you have to at the very least slow down to a really slow pace to eat it. At which point it would be hard to avoid enemies' attacks, so that there's a bit of a trade-off.
Yeah. Oh well, maybe in the next one.
Yeah.
I kind of worry though about stuff like that because it's like, you know, Nintendo already made the game like the way it is, and most people would see that as like, oh, it was a feature in Breath of the Wild. Why did they take it out? When really it's like a game balance thing, intended to make the game more fun and interesting.
Enemies only come out at night on islands, don't they? Like populated islands.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why the villagers hang out in their homes.
Cowards.
Gotta visit
I guess you
Grand
did take the only sword on the island, though. Well, I guess Orca's got his harpoon.
Yeah.
It's looking awfully green in this house.
You see Orca running around the island covered in blood. Like Season 5 Samurai Jack, just spearing things with his harpoon.
I killed them like animals!
Your first time back to the island, it's just the whole town is destroyed, and Orca's just standing in the middle of it all, just head to toe with blood and his harpoon, with like
Good
3
Lord.
mini blinds skewered on it.
This is the future Ocarina fans want.
Oh, this is how you heal Grandma?
Mm-hmm. Hope you're happy, Grandma. I'm
You gotta
down
give her a
2 hearts.
massage.
Your bright,
Good.
shining face.
Did you heal me?
Okay, let me ask. Have any of you ever used the fairy here, but you weren't standing close enough to her?
No, but every single time I do it, I have a mini heart palpitation that makes me
Same.
think that I did it in the wrong place. Because
Yep.
it goes around Link first, and it's just the standard cutscene.
Yeah. I didn't point this out the first time we were here, but one of my favorite little visual details here on Outset is the upside down Triforce.
Mm-hmm.
Because to me, that kind of, this is probably me reading too deep into this, but, they've got all these upside down Triforces everywhere. It kind of implies, like, the passage of time to me. Like, they know what the Triforce, or they know that symbol is important, but they don't really have the context for it.
Mm-hmm.
And then over time, they forgot which way it goes.
Maybe this is Lorule.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh my god, the deepest lore.
The lowest, don't you mean?
Hey!
Never mind. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
He's
So
still practicing.
Fun fact, I think it's the Hyrule Historia, either that or one of the other books that talks about, like, kind of development notes about the games. It actually details what Grandma's soup is made of.
Oh, yeah.
And I forget what all the ingredients are, but I remember one of them is corn. I think peas might have been in there too. Maybe cheese.
I've never been big on corn in soup. Or maybe I just associate it with, like, bad broth that I've had.
I think corn
Corn's
and
pretty
chili
good.
works really good.
So you guys ready for some fun mini games?
In classic GearCheckGames fashion, we included this entire slog of a challenge.
Oh, you'll thank me later. Because there are actually 2 other variants of this one.
Oh, God.
In this first one, we only have to hit him 100 times, which, seems like a lot, but the second one is 300 hits before he hits you 3 times,
Oh, God.
and the third one is 500.
What do you
And to
get?
my knowledge, you can't just go to 500 on your first time and get all the prizes at once. Correct me if I'm wrong, but, like, I guess I've
Sounds
never
about
attempted
right.
it, so if that is how it works, I wouldn't know, but
That
yeah.
sounds like how Zelda games work.
Yeah. Yeah, this was before the days of Mario Kart 8, where completing a cup on 150cc gives you the trophies for 50 and 100 as well, because it would just be redundant. So yeah, at this point we've won the prize. We just kind of gotta wait for him to kill
I'm
us.
kicking
Looking at it,
ass.
Orca's got enough harpoons around here for the whole village.
Yeah, I guess. Assuming he's willing to share them. God, who
That's
could
a-
carry that giant one?
Yeah,
though?
who gets the big one?
It's more like a battering ram, honestly.
That one goes to-
101 blows.
Now I'm imagining an alternate reality grandma, where she's got the like gladiator wheelchair that the granny has in Ocarina and Majora's Mask,
Grandma, warrior, princess.
and she's got the giant harpoon.
God, Link, take this with you. Stick this in Ganon's face.
Wait, you're doing it again?
Yep. 300 times,
Got it.
just like that.
Wow!
So now we're a swordsman after all that tedium.
Ba-ba-da-ba-ba.
Ooh, money.
And thankfully we can actually carry these rupees, so...
Oh my god, you're gonna go for the other one?
Yes, this in total I think took me like 20 minutes.
Honestly, I don't know why people complain about this being so grindy. I mean, look, it only took like 5 seconds.
Just over like that.
You are.
And I did the whole thing because I wanted a piece of heart.
All that for a piece of heart.
Yeah,
Now do it without your shield.
It might seem kind of tricky at first because you can only afford like 3 mistakes. Basically, what I do is just mash the sword button, and whenever he like starts to attack you, just put up your shield.
See, the thing that would always get me back in the day was greed. I'd always go for the parry attacks instead of just using my shield.
Yeah.
And sometimes the parry attack just wouldn't work, so I'd get hit.
You get like stuck on something. Yeah, I don't think it makes you invincible.
Nope. Or sometimes it just won't make your sword flash to let you do it.
So, what did you do? Did you just like put on a podcast and just like go to town on that guy?
Nope.
Oh my god.
I was recording.
He just sat there. To GearCheckGames at youtube.com/GearCheckGames.
Boy, who are they?
Or something like that.
Sound like a bunch of jerks, if you ask me.
Hey.
Speak for yourselves.
Okay.
We make your boring days slightly less boring.
Chonky pig.
Oh my god. Did it eat the kids?
Oh my god.
Now I went in here because there was some funny dialogue I wanted to highlight, but for some reason they don't say it.
Oh, you're safe.
I guess because the kids are asleep.
Nasty things have been happening around here. Don't come out until the morning comes. It's dangerous out there. Ha! That was a real good one. Real zinger.
Wait, who sleeps in the top bunk?
A king among pigs. The king of black pigs, if you will.
We need that pig to fight Ganon. There is actually a piece of heart you can get using that pig. But we don't have the tools to do it just yet, so we're going to wait on it.
We need the hammer or something?
You need to hammer the pig into submission.
You need the power bracelets to lift heavy objects.
You need a power glove.
You need the meat mallet.
So bad.
Going up this hill. What are we on this island for? I forget.
We are here to visit Jaboon, who has sealed himself in a cave on the far side of the island. But there's one last thing I want to do before we pay him a visit.
Cut down that bridge, so nobody will ever get kidnapped by a bird again.
I'll go hide in the forest.
These little imps are annoying.
Good old mini blends.
That's another soundbite that I think they re-recorded for this game. Like, it's got the same overall impression, but like you can tell it's a different sound.
That looks ominous.
You gotta play the Wind Waker.
That wasn't there before.
Link's just like, oh yeah, the giant whirlpool at the back of the island. Everyone knows about that.
Old man Ho-Ho's chilling in the background there. Yes, that is his name.
That's the Forbidden Zone.
Yeah, I remember thinking it was like really cool that you could get back in here. Like that is how you're supposed to do it, right? Like
Yeah.
Gliding with the Deku Leaf.
Now you're supposed to chop down 20 trees to rebuild the bridge.
Oh my god.
What is this, Terrytown?
Can we not? Can we please not?
Yeah, I love Terrytown, but my god, having to bring him all those logs.
I never want to look at another tree again.
What I love is that they tempt you to go down and get all the wood from the forest below, but it's infested with guardians.
Oh yeah.
It's like, good luck.
Man, I love guardians.
I was just like, maybe I'll just hit up this smaller forest near the entrance. I love the guy that's just like sitting on the outcrop, just like, I'm bored. You want to fight those guardians for me? I'll pay you for it.
He's like, I want to see a good fight. Oh, here's a fairy.
He's just like the epitome of just like rich guy that's bored and just wants to throw money around.
Yeah.
And just doesn't understand the plight of the working class.
Yeah, Link's po' boy. He's got to stay on top of his rupees. And on that note, so this Great Fairy here is going to give us the largest wallet available in the game, allowing us to carry a maximum of 5,000 rupees, as opposed to before where we could only carry up to 1,000. And you're definitely going to want to have the largest possible wallet in this game, because... And we've alluded to this a little bit in previous parts, but... There is a point in the Wind Waker where you need a very, very large sum of rupees in order to be able to progress the story at all. And you don't want to be in a situation where you come upon a large sum of rupees, but you're unable to carry them because your wallet isn't big enough. So definitely go to Northern Fairy Isle, go to the Forest of Fairies on Outset Island, and make sure your wallet is as big as it can be. Anywho, Moblins...
Got the double whammy.
Mm-hmm. It's payback time.
Oh wow, they're like really easy now.
Mm-hmm. Wait till we get the... Well, I guess we'll save that for later.
We'll get the Bigoron sword.
Yeah. I must say, Trey, you have the most peculiar way of pronouncing some of these words.
Peculiar. Wait, what is it called? I thought it was called Bigoron.
I think it's the Big Goron sword.
Nah, man, it's Bigoron.
Bigoron sword.
Yeah.
What was the other one?
Make it stop. What, the, in Ocarina?
Oh, yeah, the Ocarina.
The Ocarina.
Slay me.
Yeah, you started the game talking to your good friend Saria.
Okay, that's a little too far.
Alright, slow down there, Hitler.
Even I can't get behind that.
Oh!
That was some astronomically bad luck right there.
Link, how are your ankles? Damn.
Non-existent.
It's like when you do the dive off those big waterfall dives in the tropical getaways, and you hit the one rock and just get splattered.
Oof. I'm sorry, Dan, has this happened to you or a loved one?
I mean,
you
know, hashtag relatable things.
Oof.
There's
that feel when you jump off the waterfall and hit the one rock on the way down, and your guts go flying out all the way across a 30-mile radius.
I can relate.
There's a really cool.
I'm sorry, but I just remember that one episode of King of the Hill where Peggy goes skydiving and her parachute doesn't open.
Oh God, I was watching that episode with my dad the other day. How does it end? I haven't seen this part.
If I remember correctly, she survives, but she has to wear like a brace for like I don't know how long.
Oh. Yeah, that's the one where
Like
they
a
have their
full-body
anniversary
brace.
and they get like really drunk and fall asleep in a garbage can. Good times.
Wait, Jaboon put this whirlpool here?
I guess.
Doesn't he know these people have to fish?
It was a test.
You see, the way I always saw it was that he or someone, I think, was it Ganondorf sealed off Jaboon?
No, Ganondorf destroyed the island. Jaboon like fled preemptively and like hid himself in this cave.
Oh, okay. So
which
the
is
way
easily destroyed by bombs.
The way I saw it was that Jaboon put up the wall to like seal himself off from Ganondorf, and then that disrupted the flow of the currents and created the whirlpool. Which is why when you destroy it, the whirlpool ends. You
know what? That's a good.
Although I don't know.
That's
how
actually a good explanation.
Work, so.
That's a good explanation because I was wondering as I was playing this, and maybe I missed a line of dialogue or something, but I was wondering like why does Ganon curse the Great Sea? You know, like how does that? I guess it's like raining and harder to navigate, but like you can still do it. I mean, it's kind of a neat set piece, but like I'm not entirely sure what his plan was, but that actually kind of makes sense. Like, and I know this isn't actually what happened, but like the idea that the ocean and like the weather patterns are out of whack because like the god of the sea is like hiding in a cave and not like seeing to it that they all function properly.
So that's kind of like, it shows like the menace of Ganon.
Mm-hmm,
I love this guy. This guy doing like the chorus.
Oh yeah, I can hear it.
It's my big chance.
He's the real MVP of Wind Waker.
His octave keeps climbing. It's making me nervous.
Can't get much higher than this.
Oh,
And there's our third and final pearl.
What if he tossed the pearl out of his lantern
That
and
was
just
easy.
plunked into the sea? Just like, oh, whoops.
That's the Zora symbol, isn't it?
The fish kind of, he stares at you for a second, glances down, glances back at you.
Yeah, the giant fish glares down at you like, you gonna get that?
Link's just like, damn it, this would be the one Zelda game where you can't dive underwater. Ugh. The one full of it.
Mhm.
Oh well.
I like Jaboon's voice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was kind of like the proto Midna almost, where he had like voiced dialogue in like a made-up language.
Mm-hmm. Isn't Binda's lines just like English sped up and reversed?
I think it's English like cut up and put together differently.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Anyway, join us next time for more Wind Waker fun. See ya.
Yeah.